What's up, people? In this video, Angelo carry on. Phit and Phat. What could this be, I wonder? If you guys have other recommendations, let me know.
What is the most important thing about exercise? A lot of us get it in our head that we're only going to lose weight unless we're killing ourselves in the gym. And you want to hire a trainer and you want to do all this stuff. And I think the first thing I want you guys to understand is that exercise is literally 10% of what's going on in your body when it comes to weight loss. But you want to focus in on that. Now, I will say this. A lot of us hire trainers for motivation. It's going to do all this great stuff for us and whatnot. The reason why trainers want to throw so much exercise at you is because every session you buy, money in their pocket. This is not to say it is not good for you. It is not to say that it's not wonderful and all that kind of stuff. But I do want your mind wrapped around the idea that food is king to losing weight. So take the pressure off the exercise. And I think that's a huge beginner tip. A lot of you are in this mindset that the exercise is going to be what fixes it all. And then maybe you get to eat what you want, or you're in a mindset, if I'm working out so hard, I can have a little extra, I can do this, I can do that. And that is all wrong. If exercise is 10% of weight loss, I don't care how much you exercise. You don't get bonus.
Boom! Alright, this bitch is totally wrong. Sorry, Phit and Phat. Now, in order to illustrate my point, let's take a look here. How about, let's see, athletic bodies. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures of some people who, let's call them athletic, and I want you to think to yourself, did these people get this way from only 10% exercise and 90% nutrition? I wonder. Let's look at this girl. Ooh, this is a good page. What about these ladies? Is this 10% exercise, 90% nutrition? I wonder. Let's look at some more people here. I don't know. Basically any of these. Why do they change Google Images to look like shit? No, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And, by the way, that is cope. Fatty cope. Okay, this is not surprising from a woman. I'm sorry, I'm extra misogynistic today, but no. This is just another excuse for fat people to not go to the fucking gym and do what they need to do to get a nice body. I guess she looks okay. She seems like, I don't know if this is a fat arm or a muscular arm. Nothing against her, but no, people. If you work out, you can fucking eat pretty much whatever you want within reason. You want to eat fast food every single day for every single meal? Go ahead, go to the gym, lift weights, you'll be fine. No problem with that. I mean, you won't look like a fucking Greek god, but you'll look a bazillion times better than somebody who doesn't work out and eats healthy food. This is so retarded. Are you not embarrassed to have said that? Whatever your name is, Phit and Phat? Comments are disabled. I wonder why comments were disabled. Probably because this is the dumbest shit anybody's ever heard.
It's food. That's just math. Now, mentally, it stinks because it makes you a dog. You're earning treats. We are not dogs. We do not need to earn our food. We need to eat in a way that makes us feel good and healthy. So, so if you join my tribe, and all my girls are in there, the reason why the No BS Weight Loss Program, when you join Exercise Week 4, is because I don't want it distracting you from getting your food straight. All of us who have a lot of weight to lose, the last thing we need to do is be distracted from getting the food straight. So, it's 10% of what your total weight loss is. Now, here's what I want you to think about when you're first starting. So let me tell you how I started with exercise. Because a lot of you are like, oh, I love your arms, and you lost 100 pounds, you look so good, and blah, blah, blah. And it's yeah, but exercise was not what did it. This is the way exercise helped me lose weight, okay? When I was, if you've listened to my story, then you know that I was sitting there with my little 1-year-old, and I couldn't keep up with him, and I was 30 years old, feeling like ass, 29 or 30. And I knew that I needed to start.
Did the sound just cut out, or is that my headset?
And healthy. So if you join my tribe, and all my girls are in there, the reason why the No BS Weight Loss Program, relationship of commitment to improving my health. It was not about killing myself in the gym. It was not about finding a restrictive diet. It was not about all this crazy stuff. I literally was I'm in it this time. I'm figuring this out. I'm going to lose weight. I didn't know how much. I didn't know what would happen. The only thing I knew was I didn't like how I was living, so I wanted to figure out a way that I could live in a way that I felt amazing. And when I had that mindset, it was a lot easier to build an exercise that didn't scare me and overwhelm me or get me so sore that I couldn't show up the next day. I can't tell you how many times when I was 250, 220, all those sizes, I'd hire a trainer. They would whip my ass, and then they would just, basically, it was they whipped my ass to show me just how out of shape I was, as if I didn't know that myself. And then for 3 days, not be able to walk or move. Well, then I didn't want to go back because I was humiliated. Or I didn't want to go back because it was so painful. Or I'd go back for a little bit, and I was if this is the way it's always going to be, I can't keep up with this. So I always had this mindset when I was losing weight of whatever I was doing, I was going to be able to keep doing for the rest of my life, and I was going to be able to keep up with it. I wouldn't need to quit anymore. I talked to you guys the last few days about not needing to quit anymore, not practicing quitting.
Okay, everybody, fat people who watch my videos who don't exercise and are scared of the gym, and for some reason, this message of this boomer telling you like it's 90% nutrition, 10% exercise. This like appeals to you. When you start working out in the gym, you should not be working out hard. Your first 2 to 3 weeks in the gym, you should barely feel like you're working out. Like you should do just enough to feel that kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of feel like I'm working my muscle a little bit. That's all you should feel, okay, when you're training in the gym. That's literally all you should feel. If you have a trainer and they're killing you in your first workout, that's a bad trainer. They like do not train with them anymore. That is not how it's supposed to be done. You're very deconditioned. If you train very hard, you're going to be extremely sore. And if you're extremely sore, guess what? You can't work out the next day because you're in too much pain. Okay, that's common sense. But if you're like a tiny bit sore, where you're like, oh yeah, oh I feel it. Oh, I can definitely feel it. You know what I mean? Then you can keep going because you're like, yeah, I feel like I did something, but like I can at least still like extend my arms fully without, going to the hospital. So this woman obviously like trained too hard in the beginning and is now saying nutrition is somehow more important. Nutrition is important, don't get me wrong. It's very important. Obviously, like you do need to eat right, and in order to get the maximum good result, you need to eat right, like for sure. But like, it's also it's mainly exercise. Like go to the gym, lift weights. You'd be shocked at how your body changes.
All starts with setting some very realistic expectations of yourself and building up the like what I call the mental muscle of showing up for yourself. Like if you say you're going to the gym, by God you go to the gym. Like you need to bleed out your eyeballs before you don't go. But you don't put it on the plan in the very beginning unless you feel confident you're going to do it. It is if you take my free course, pnp411.com. If you take the free course, that is why in the first video, I don't care if it's food prep, I don't care if it's how you eat, I don't care if it's exercise or what it is. When you are at your rock bottom, you're like, I'm so sick and tired of this weight. You need to start with very manageable and doable things that you can show up for on a routine basis. Because we're not practicing that enough. And that's what always was my stumbling block. Is I was like an all or nothing kind of girl. Like I was all in, like I'm very A-type personality. So if I started a diet, I changed everything overnight. Well, the first time something went wrong, I felt like a failure and then I was out. Or the first time it was too hard, I was out. So what I think is that we have to really establish a way to start practicing commitment, practicing honoring promises to ourselves, and practice knowing that we're important. When you honor, like I want you to think about your family and your friends. If they all love and adore you because you take care of everybody, it's because you honor your commitments to them religiously. You don't say you're going to do stuff and not do it. The same thing goes on with yourself. So you have the skill set. So now you just got to do it yourself, right? So with exercise, what I have my clients do is I have them start with, we call it minimum baseline, but what I just want to teach everybody here, and girls, all my beginners, you have not had this lesson yet. So I don't want you freaking out like, oh, God, Chris, like, what are we doing? That's your week 4. So wherever you're at in the program, whether you're in week 1 or 2, I still don't want you worried about exercise, unless you're already an exerciser. Otherwise, I just want you just to listen and enjoy that this lesson comes in week 4. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about exercise in these terms. I want you to start with where you are. So if you've been doing nothing, that's why I suggest people walk. Most people can walk. Short of having some kind of a disability or there's a serious problem, most people can walk. And it is the most undervalued form of exercise I see people. All the time I'm like, well, just walking. Walking's not enough. It's like, fuck that. I lost 100 pounds when I started with walking, so don't tell me walking's not enough. I walked today because I did run yesterday, but today I was like, man, I just want to do some walking.
All right, a couple things. Number one, okay, I didn't mean to be so hard on her in the beginning. It's just like it. And again, as I've said in every video where I like get irritated, like I don't care what people do, like you want to believe that you're going to get a nice body by changing what you eat and not exercising, okay. And I know she didn't say not exercising. I know she said it's only 10% of the weight loss. Not true, sorry. I think where that comes from is this notion that like women to women, exercise is cardio. That's like, they think exercise, they think cardio. This woman does not look like she does much weight training, judging by, I can only really see her arms. They don't look particularly like, I don't know. She looks like maybe she's got like a little bit of muscle. She's not in like the worst shape ever for like, I don't know, what is she, like 60 or something? She looks good, I guess, for 60, but still, like, you could look way better, you know? People honestly just really just don't push themselves as hard as they should. Like, honestly, I don't think that when you get to be a certain age, it's impossible to have a nice body, even if you're not on steroids. I think people actually just do not try, is really what it comes down to. And you can say that about everything. It's not impossible to have a popular YouTube channel. It's not impossible to have a popular Instagram account. It's not impossible to do all these things. It's just who's really trying? Who's really out there every day putting in the amount of effort that needs to like actually make it happen? That's number one. Number two, the best exercise, diet, weight loss plan, whatever, is one that you can do consistently and sustainably that will work. Okay, like just because I say fasting and OMAD and working out with weights is the best, because in my opinion it's the most efficient and will like lead you to an ideal result extremely quickly, that does not mean that doing it, let's say the Greg Doucette way, where you eat 6 meals a day and like you have protein bars and protein powder then you do like your bodybuilding bro split instead of full body workouts. Like, does not mean that that will not work. Will not work. But like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you stick with. I worry about this because the people that she's talking to are basically fat, deconditioned people who are already like how many excuses do people need to not go to the gym? Like, seriously, how many do you have? Oh, I can't go today. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I got to pick up my kids from school. Oh, I got to go to this meeting. Oh, I just had a long day at work. Oh, I got something to do tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to start on Monday. Like, seriously, how many excuses do you need? And now this lady's saying, oh, well, actually, exercise is only 10%. Like, another excuse that you're adding to the pile.
And I want to listen to the podcast and I want to lift some weights. That's all I want to do today. And that's the second piece. You got to love it. Like, you are not going to show up at the gym for the rest of your life and turn your healthy ship around and do all that kind of stuff unless you are willing to do what you like and find what you like versus, well, what's the best way to lose weight? What's the best exercise plan for me to get this weight off? There is no best exercise plan. And do not let some internet person, I know I'm on the internet, but let me just say, don't let some other internet person blow smoke up your ass that there are exercise plans out there that are the right ones, that are the best ones, or whatever. There is no best plan. The best plan is the one that gets your ass off the couch with a smile on your face routinely. If that is Zumba, hula hooping, jumping rope, on the trampoline with your kid, taking a neighborhood walk, lifting weights, beast mode, and CrossFit, I don't care what it is. There's your best exercise plan. The people who long-term lose weight, who are long-term healthy, and keep their weight off, are the people that everyone will say, I love my life. Like, I love the food I eat. I love the exercise I do. They're not bitching and griping and not looking forward to it every day. So if you're trying to lose weight in a way that sucks for you, then yes, ma'am. You will not keep it off and you will not lose it for long-term. And I mean, you can ask me, I've got several girls that have lost all their weight. I've got coaches that have lost all their weight. I mean, my coaches, we're like 80 pounds and more. We have people, or 50 pounds and more. Actually, one of them's only lost 50, right? Whatever. I want you to think about it. Talk to people that have kept weight off and have changed their life. They love their life. They don't love their life because of their size. They love all the things that they do and think, and their size reflects that.
Good point. So, like, again, to the point I made earlier, whatever the best plan is something that you stick with, which implies that you're making lifestyle changes, right? Notice I'm not saying the best way to lose weight is to fucking starve yourself for a week and, like, eat, like, 3 veggie chips a day. That's not good because that's not sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, it is not a lifestyle choice. It is, like, a temporary solution that has a time limit on it and is eventually going to lead to you relapsing and going back to your old ways, which is not good. It's just not, like, it's not the way to do things. Qualitatively speaking, I would say that it's, you know, there is a difference between CrossFit and bodybuilding and boxing and, like, all of these different sports. However, for her audience, which, let's be real, is women, 40 plus women, what should you do? Like, straight up, ladies, like, why go so easy on yourself? Just because you're 40 years old, you've had a couple kids, like, big deal. Like, you can still lift, you can still pick up a weight and put it down. You understand? You can still do that. You can still build muscle. You can still have a nice body at 40 plus. It's possible. Do you not want that? Do you actually just not care? You just want to not be fat and, like, gross looking anymore? Is that actually your goal? In my opinion, that's a stupid goal. Why such a low goal? Like, what's your other goal? Like, to, like, be able to, like, walk down the street? Like, you want to fit into, like, a size 9 because you're now, like, a size 23? Oh, I just want to get down to a size 8. Okay, good for you. You're a size 8. You still look awful. Sorry, no offense. Like, really, I'm sorry. Do whatever you want. You're married, you have kids. Okay, fine. Like, my life is not your life. But if you're going to train, if you're going to spend an hour a day doing something, you might as well spend it doing the most, you know, doing what's going to get you the best result in the least amount of time, right? Especially if it's easier and it makes you feel good. Am I wrong here? Like, what am I missing?
There's your difference. So many of you are out there wanting to lose weight, thinking that when you lose it, you're going to be happy. Not if you hate everything you're doing. You will be white-knuckling your maintenance until it doesn't work anymore. Your body's not going to handle it. Your mind is not going to handle it. Eventually, you're going to want to relieve the pressure. Okay, so with the exercise, here's the main key points, and then I'm going to answer questions, okay? There is no best plan. You showing up regularly is always going to be your best plan. Be willing to try things. Try it all. Just try it. And I know this is difficult for a lot of you who have like 100 pounds to lose, because I totally feel you. Just start with where you think, I can do this. It may not feel amazing in the beginning. Like, I know for me, the first few times, even just walking into the Y to get on the treadmill, I knew how to start a treadmill. Even that was uncomfortable, but it was like, well, I know I can do that. Be willing for it to be a little tough in the beginning, especially mentally, but just get in there and get good at showing up for yourself. The other thing is I would plan it. Look at your week. Plug it in somewhere that you know it can easily fit in. And if you are not exercising at all, I mean, find some small pockets. Like, find 10 minutes so that you can, in your mind, be like, I exercise today. All that needs to happen in the very beginning, since exercise is only 10% of weight loss, here's the deal. The most important thing that has to happen is your brain has to get trained that you exercise. So if that is, like, I've had, like, surgeries where I've been out for 6 or 8 weeks, couldn't do jack, right? I'd lay in that bed, and I would meditate. And in my mind, I scheduled it each day, and I knew when I was going to be meditating and doing deep breathing, and I call that exercise. So that in my brain, the habit stayed. You can do the same stuff at 100 pounds. You get to choose whatever you want to make it mean. The only thing we really want to focus on is making sure your brain makes the connection that we are doing this. Like, look at us go. We are accomplishing things, and you get a hit of that good relief that we normally look for in food. I am all about teaching you girls like how to figure out ways to have small hits of feeling good.
All right, so like maybe I was a little bit hard on her in the beginning because the stuff that she's saying, this is clearly somebody who has the identity of a fit, in shape person, right? You can just tell if somebody's fit, they're in shape, they talk like this. They talk about it being a lifestyle. They talk about it like you need to enjoy it. They talk about like picking whatever it is that you have to do to like make sure that you go there. Like this is how you can identify somebody who is fit, not by like the sweatband and like, you know, the gym shirt, whatever. Anyway, might have been a little bit hard on her in the beginning. That said, interestingly enough, I remember reading a study about, I think it was like, I forget what it was, but like they studied athletes who were hospitalized for some reason, and they had two groups, right? One group was the control group. They were just like hospitalized, like in bed for like 2 weeks doing nothing. Or maybe they weren't hospitalized. Maybe they just weren't training, right? And the other group, they had them imagine in their minds that they were training, right? Like let's say you train for an hour. What they would do is they would have them in their mind, like basically imagine that they were actually going through their training session. And what they found out at the end of that is that the athletes who like imagine themselves training, they actually were deconditioned significantly less than the ones who just like laid around doing whatever, doing nothing. That's not exactly what she said. She's just like saying like meditate to get some sort of like endorphin release. I just thought it would be interesting to note that. But really what it comes down to at the end of the day is you need to have the identity of a fit person. This woman clearly has the identity of a fit person. I can only really speak for myself. I have the identity of a fit person. Like right now, you know, the past month, let's say, I've had this fucking like, I don't know if it's like been, I had like one UTI and then and then it went away and then I had a kidney infection. So in the past 30 days, I've probably worked out like 5 or 6 times, which is like nothing for me. You know, maybe gained a couple pounds, maybe lost a little bit of strength, but in my mind, I know I'm a fit person and I know in a few days I'm going to get back in the gym and I'm going to recover like this because in my mind, I'm like, okay, like I'm normally here. This is where my identity is normally. Right now I'm down here. I got to get back up here ASAP. You understand? So you have to have that in your mind as who you are. There's no way to fake that, really. I guess at some point, you know, in the beginning, you can believe that you will eventually get there. Like using myself as an example again, right? Like I believe that someday I will be a famous, popular YouTuber, right? I believe that, which is why I'm working so hard to achieve that, right? I don't know if it's going to be through these review videos or for something else, but I believe that it will happen eventually, someday for me. So like that's why I'm working for it. You need to have the same sort of belief, and really that belief just comes from wanting to do it so badly that that desire creates the belief, if that makes sense.
And so that you're not always looking for it in your food. The problem is most of you just won't give yourself those things. You won't give yourself the, like I'll say, this week I want you to plan like 3 days of 10 minutes of like just light exercise, just whatever you want it to be. But I want you to call it exercise and I want you to check those boxes off. And then you go, okay, we'll do that, but that's not good enough. It's probably not gonna get my weight off. And then your brain goes, wah. And then all of a sudden you have just killed making that positive connection. Your brain needs the positive connection. You have to like, no, we're not thinking that. We are totally gonna be all in on like this counts. Because you need it to count. You need every win you can get when you're trying to lose weight. Get creative about finding your wins. And exercise is one of the easier ways to do it. Because you can be so creative about what counts. Okay? And then it's just find what you love. And I promise you girls, when you start getting creative, when you start planning, when you start doing that stuff, all of a sudden you start wanting to try other things, you start asking people about other stuff. Try different videos. Try things at the gym. Try whatever. Ask me if you need help. Whatever. My tribe, ask me. I will figure out ways for you to exercise all day long, you know, every day and twice on Sunday. It's just, I think it's important. Now, I'm gonna go back through and answer questions because people are always like, you know, they have usually a million questions. You can tell I exercise, which I love. But I did not, honestly, you guys, I was so not an athlete. And you're probably seeing more and more, y'all keep asking me for before and after pictures. So you were seeing more and more on the page of my before pictures. I was so not an athlete at all. In fact, I'm gonna dig out this one picture. When I was in high school, I marched in band. And I was in my 200s when I went to high school. I think I was probably about 190 to 210, somewhere in there when I started high school. We had to march from our high school to our stadium, which was about probably 5 blocks in the heat. And I looked miserable. It really shows what not an athlete I was. I mean, I literally walked about 5 blocks. I was in polyester, but still, it was terrible. And so when I did start exercising, like as I did more and more, I wanted to try more and more because I was showing up. I found that I liked it because I had taken all the pressure off myself for it to do something for me. I took all the pressure off of me having to do it right. I took all the pressure off of me for it having to hurt. When I released all that, suddenly I was able to find things I really liked, and then I just did more.
Just stop the video in the middle of it, I guess. Video in the middle of it. Okay, good for her. Why did you ask me to do this video? I wonder. Fit and Phat, whatever. Anyway, who cares? All right. So like again. I'm a snob, I'm nitpicking, I'm an asshole. I swear I'm really a nice person in real life, right? Like if you met me in real life or just saw me interact with people, you'd be like, oh my God, who's this like super friendly, nice person? But for some reason, like when I talk about like fitness and nutrition and stuff, and I like evaluate the opinions of other people on the internet, I'm just like, ugh, wrong, wrong, stupid, incorrect, inefficient. I realized that because, like, I think I mentioned this, but somebody wrote me an email the other day. They're like, "I can tell you're actually a really nice person. You just seem like a dick on the internet." And I'm like, I really am a nice person. It's just when I do these videos. Anyway, her heart seems like she's in the right place. I guess she is appealing to the like 40 plus demographic of women who have like never physically exerted themselves in their life. But seriously, just like go to the gym, go do something, go exercise in some way, train your body in some way, and like really, what it comes down to, do you want it bad enough? Like, do you actually want to be fit and in shape? Like, what I do, I'll show you guys my home screen. You want to see my home screen? I don't know if you guys can see this. This is what I have on my phone. Let's see if you can see this. Oh, hold on. Bring up my. Oh. You guys see that? Right? This is all the stuff that I want. This is from an old vision board that I had. Okay? You have this guy right here. This is Ziz. I have Ziz right here in the middle. I have this. This is the type of girls that I like. I have Arnold Schwarzenegger right here, looking fresh. I have all these places I want to travel to. All these girls who I think are beautiful, right? Girls with abs. Girls with abs. This is some like hot Israeli girl with like curly hair. This is Burning Man that I want to go to. You understand? Like I put this stuff on my phone to constantly motivate me because I actually want it that badly. And every time I open my phone, you know, there's a reason why I have Ziz in the middle. You know what I mean? Because the guy has like a perfect body. And every time I see that, I think to myself, damn, I need to get there. I'm not there yet right now. Obviously, the guy was on a ton of juice. Like, is that achievable naturally? Probably not. But who cares? You know, it's still a goal worth striving for. Anyway, thank you for telling me to do that. You guys got any more? Let me know. Peace.